This is a Jmix exclusive.
You know, the first time we met Tupac, I swear it probably wasn't even 30 minutes into meeting him. We were already playing music, you know, like an instrumental. And then, you know, we were already starting to sing or rap or whatever. And when he heard me sing, he was like, I want you right there. And I just so happened to say something to Dr. Dre because I was dating him at the time. And then he was like, he didn't want me to go. I'm like, what the hell? You know, why did I even say anything? He's like, if you go, I'm never speaking to you again. I'm like, ugh. So I stopped telling him, like, you know, I'm going to the studio to work with Tupac because I'm like, I would have never been on anything. And so once stuff would come out or he would find out later he wasn't, you know, he was like, oh, okay, you know, there's nothing he could do. But, you know, that first time was kind of like, wow, this is not going to be easy. And, you know, when the girl showed up without me, he was just like totally disappointed. He was like, oh, my God, you guys didn't bring that girl. Where in the hell is that girl? And so the next day, I was, you know, able to go to the studio. And from there, we just hit it off. And I'll never forget what he told me. He was like, we're like Romeo and Juliet. He's like, we just fit. We're just like, your voice, my voice, we go bam, bam, back and forth.
What was Dr. Dre's problem with Tupac?
I don't know if it was a direct problem because really at the time I don't know if Dre just didn't like him because no, it wasn't that, but Tupac didn't like them. He did not like Dre, and when the whole Death Row came up, he didn't like the Dre, Snoop, and all of them. He didn't like them. I don't know why. Um, Dre, I think it was just the jealousy of a guy and, you know, me going to be in the studio with another man and, you know, he probably knows, you know, what he's done in the studio and probably thinking like, oh, Lord, they're going to be in the studio. You know? So I think it was more of that situation. But, yeah, I think it was more of that situation. But what I was going to say about Tupac as far as not saying he just didn't like them, he didn't like this situation that I know went down, and this is why I say that, is when we did a whole album that has never come out, I did with Tupac. And Dating Dre, we were in a studio in Santa Monica when Dre was just doing Snoop's album. Yeah, The Chronic, I think it came out, or I don't know what they were working on, but it coincided with Tupac dropping this album because I'm in the studio and I hear my voice. And I'm like, where's my voice coming from? I'm in the studio with Dre. Why do I hear myself? So I'm looking all around in different rooms and, you know, doors and stuff in the studio. And I open up one door and it's Corrupt and Daz, and they're playing Tupac's album because Tupac was on Interscope. And, you know, they got an advance copy of the album. And I'm like, hey, that's me. They're like, oh, that's you. We love this album. You know, and I'm like, I don't even have a copy of it. How'd you guys get a copy of it? Because, you know, Pac is real strict about getting copies of his music. And they said, oh, Tony Alver gave it to us, you know, and told us to check out Pac's new stuff. So I was like, wow, okay. So the next time I saw Pac, I said, hey, you know, why can't I get a copy from Tony Alver? You know, Daz and Corrupt has a copy. And he's like, what? You know, he went back and he scrapped the whole album. Sure did. He was like, I can't stand them. You know, and then shortly afterwards, and this is just what he said. Now, I don't know. And I hope Snoop and them don't get mad, but this is the honest to God truth. He said they stole stuff from him. Like, he was doing the Israel for the Nizzle or something like that, and got my money on my mind and my mind on my money, whatever that little slogan is or whatever. A whole bunch of little things that was on that album, he accused them of stealing it. And that made him very, very bitter when Snoop's album came out, the first album. And he was real bitter over that, like really pissed and didn't like them. So, you know.
So you're telling me, wait, so Tupac had a problem with Snoop before he even came to Death Row Records?
Yeah, they didn't know it, but he didn't like them because he accused them of stealing his sayings, his ways, some of his style. Like a sentence here and there. You know, and this album never came out. It had, excuse my language, but a song on there called "Is It Cool as Fuck." It had a lot of other great songs on there, and he scrapped the entire album because of them hearing the album. He just got mad. He was like, the album's gone. So, even when he got with Death Row, it kind of carried over because I was at the filming of California Love. Yeah, it was a 3-day shoot. The first day, Pac didn't come, Chris Tucker, he was mad at everybody. And then the second day, everybody came out because it was out in the desert, and, we stayed in a hotel out there. And, that's where, I could really tell this wasn't going to work because, Pac talking mess about Dre. And I'm like, I'm on the set of California Love in the trailer with Pac. Pac's just going off. F Dre, F Snoop, it's me first, then it's Snoop, then it's Dr. Dre on the label. I'm taking over. I'm gonna be Death Row. I'm Death Row now. And I'm like, oh Lord, Jesus.
This is a Jmix exclusive.
What up, shut up?